And I'm ready to talk now.
Are you?
Supposedly. And that was our best opening ever. Welcome to the Brothers Game Podcast with me, Nicolai.
And me, Brian.
You have to say it like that. Nicolai.
Nicolai.
Nicolai. Oh, yeah. Brian, what is up?
Oh, you know, stuff.
We're recording early instead of late.
Yes.
Very different because you're not working today.
It's true.
Nice.
Took
Me
the day
either.
off.
Very cool.
We're going to the coast.
We are. We have a little retreat thing.
Yep.
Little men's church retreat thing.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
Mm-hmm. So, what you been up to? What's going on? How's life?
Nothing, you know.
Yeah.
I've been playing some games.
Mm-hmm.
Playing a little games. I've mostly been obsessed with coffee stuff lately.
Yeah. I've been playing one game in particular.
Oh, okay.
Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh, are you still playing that? Are you
Yep.
you into that? Okay, that's
Yeah.
cool. We'll definitely talk about
I think
that.
I'll actually finish it this time. We'll see.
Nice. Yeah, I've been playing Pokemon. I don't know if you've heard of that. I know, pretty weird, but I'll have thoughts about that in a little bit. We might talk about the new Pokemon that's coming out in a week.
Yeah. So I did an Amazon pre-order of it.
Okay.
So it'll ship the day it releases.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go pick it up somewhere. I might go to like Retro or something
Yeah.
because they get them day of, and usually have a
that's
lot
cool.
of they have a lot of copies usually of new games, so I might just grab it from them.
Cool. Yeah, we'll have to see who gets it first.
Yeah, I've had Amazon pre-orders come a few days after release, like a day or two after.
Yeah.
And that's just really annoying. So I refuse.
Yeah, but then I don't have to leave the house, so
Yeah.
I still
And I
get it
just
pretty early.
don't mind, I guess. I don't know.
But yeah.
So you're getting Scarlett, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely getting Violet. So
I'm excited for it. The other day on Twitter, I saw someone had done a terrestrialized Kirby.
oh, nice.
That was awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm sort of excited, I guess. I'm not like super excited. I don't think I've let myself get excited
Oh,
thinking
okay.
about it too much. So I'm just gonna wait till it comes out and just play it.
I think I'm more excited than I was for Sword and Shield.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess we'll just see. I'm scared it's gonna be bad. Actually,
Oh, yeah. I'm really not.
I think it's gonna be good, but like, yeah, I don't know.
I don't think. I can't remember being disappointed by a mainline Pokemon game.
Like disappointed? No.
Yeah.
No, I haven't either. So
But like, I took a long break, obviously, between after Gold and Silver and before Sun and Moon.
yeah, that was basically the gap.
Yeah,
That's a
that
pretty
was
big
about
gap.
the length of the gap. So
Pretty big gap.
Had I still been like into the games and when Diamond and Pearl came out, I wonder if I'd have been like, well, this is it. Pokemon's
Pokemon's
done.
bad now. Or would you have loved it when it first came out? I wonder.
I don't know, but yeah, I think I know me. I would have just been like, yeah, it's just nowhere near as good as Gen
It's okay,
1.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. So, do you want to continue on the Pokemon train or talk about your Star Wars?
let's talk about Star Wars. I happen to be wearing a Star Wars shirt.
Whoa.
It's one of my favorite shirts.
That's true.
It's the Battle of Hoth.
That is Empire Strikes Back.
Yes, it is.
That's where that's from. I'm a Star Wars guy.
Yeah. So we already talked about how I'm playing it on the PC version because it looks better and is less glitchy.
Because it's not terrible. Yeah.
It's less glitchy, but that does not mean not glitchy.
Heck yeah.
I've had it just like I talked to an NPC and the game crashed.
Nice. Well, you're not allowed to do that, so.
It's like the standing still crashes Paper Mario thing. Is
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like, it's a very easy game to crash.
It's not the Jedi way.
And the screen just goes to black sometimes, and you can't. You get stuck in various ways, and yeah. There's this little like mini game you could call it. It's sometimes when you're traveling between worlds, you get ambushed by Sith fighters.
Nice.
And it is the clunkiest thing ever. It is awful.
Nice.
I have died a few times because of how clunky it is.
Just because you can't control yourself.
In some ways, I am really just fighting the game engine.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, is this like a starfighter thing?
So you're operating a turret.
Okay.
And you're being attacked by fighters and you're...
So it's like an on-rails shooter, sort of?
And your ability to go up and down is limited. You can't go down past a certain point, but they can, which is really frustrating. And so if you use the mouse, the movement is super slow, but it's pretty precise. If you use the keyboard, it's much faster, but much less precise. And you're supposed to like use them together, I guess.
Oh, interesting.
But I find the mouse is too slow and the keyboard is too fast.
Yeah.
So it makes it really difficult to actually aim at one of these ships.
Yeah.
I did, however, get a helpful tip. At the very start, while the screen is still black, before it even shows anything, mash the fire button, because a lot of the ships are right in front of you. And you'll kill most of them just doing that.
That's awesome.
So that helped a lot.
Now that's a tip and trick you can take. New games don't have stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. But at least new games, you're not fighting the engine as much.
Yeah. I mean, I say that, but I recently talked about that glitch in Breath of the Wild.
Right.
Or if you just look up and mash the A button, you can just pick up the Master Sword. So I guess new games do that.
Yeah. Sometimes.
That's
Yeah.
great.
So here's a spoiler. I mean, it's an old game, but just in case you don't want to know how KOTOR ends.
Yeah.
Go ahead and
plug your ears really quick.
Plug your ears real quick.
Go la 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 la.
It turns out you are the Dark Lord of the Sith, Darth Revan. No. And don't know it. Because your memories were wiped.
Nice.
And you don't find out until like a little over halfway through the game.
Are you kind of like a good guy until then?
You can be good or bad if you want. I've been being pretty good.
Yeah.
But I'm more of a chaotic good. Like I do what I feel is right regardless of what the law is or whatever. So like sometimes I just straight up kill bad guys.
You're one of the scary paladins. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, traditionally a paladin was always lawful good.
Right.
So
scary paladin.
Yeah.
Who's gone a little crazy.
And yeah, I did mention before that the stats are just straight up D&D stats. Exactly.
Oh, that's cool.
Not even.
That's awesome.
Not even like customized versions of them where they've renamed stuff. It's Constitution and Strength and Dex.
Nice.
And there's modifiers and stuff like it. The stats function exactly as they do in D&D, as far as I can tell. And so your accuracy starts out super low until you up either your strength or dex, depending on what type of weapon you're using, to get your 2-hit score higher.
It almost sounds like Dark Souls a little bit too.
Yeah,
with how the weapons
so that
work.
actually is more, arguably more important than increasing your damage output.
Yeah,
because if only 1 in 3 attacks hits, it doesn't matter if that one attack does a fair bit of damage. It's going to do a lot more damage if you have less attack power, but more of your hits hit.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, yeah. So yeah, I think I'm on normal difficulty, which has been kind of my go-to.
Yeah.
I tend to pick either, if there's 4 difficulty levels, I'll pick one of the 2 middle ones.
Yeah,
generally.
me too, usually, yeah. I never go straight for the hard one.
No.
Not my style.
And I've come across a few fights that were really tough. A few where I was just like, okay, I need to just not do this fight and move on to some other area. But I did get stuck in a spot where it's like, if I leave this place, I die. Nice. But I can't handle this fight, so I don't really know what to do. So I went like around and around, and I eventually
guess I'll die.
I eventually got my way through it, but yeah.
Nice. But it's hard, you're saying, basically?
Yeah, it can be. And it's, again, it's just like I come across a specific enemy that is particularly hard. You go to Tatooine at one point and you fight
Shocking.
the sand people. And their leader is like 20 times stronger than all of his minions. So
Oh, yeah.
you can get to the point where you can take on 5 of his guys at once. And then you go fight him and he just curb stomps you.
Nice.
So
Nice.
It's so interesting. They're not very clear about when you hit a point of no return.
Okay.
Story-wise. So one of the things you can do is you can get this droid who can translate from Tusken Raider dialect to a language you understand. Mm-hmm. And you can try to negotiate with them. Mm-hmm. If you don't do that, you have to kill them.
Okay. Dang.
You either kill them or you negotiate with them using this droid. So
the negotiations were short.
Yes. So I snuck in there using a Tusken Raider outfit that I took from Tusken Raiders that I had killed.
Nice.
And up until you get inside their base, they're like, "Oh, you're just a Tusken Raider. Mm-hmm. Go on through." And you get in there like, "Wait a second. I can tell you're not one of us.
You're not a Tusken Raider."
So when I tried to go back, even with the droid, it was too late. Ooh. They already knew I wasn't.
Yeah, you're bad.
So like I had no choice but to just kill them. Like
that's messed up. But realistic,
and I didn't know that.
Yeah.
They didn't make it clear that by the way, if you don't do it this way at this point, then you can't go back and change how you did it.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's just part of those types of games where choices matter, you know?
Yeah, but I think in later games they've gotten better about making sure you understand when you make a choice
I think
like
in
that.
Older games, you just have to make different save slots a lot. Like I did that in Persona 4. Yeah. For sure.
So you can do a quick save, which is really nice. You just press F4 and it just it takes 5 seconds and it saves.
Nice.
And then you can at any time press F5 and it'll load your most recent quick save.
Oh wow. Nice.
So quick save, quick reload. Which is very useful because sometimes you'll finish fighting an enemy and your character just can't move. You just can't move anywhere. You're just stuck. And so you do a quick save, quick reload, and
you're good.
You can move again. And I have to do that all the time.
All the time.
But it does help me to save more often, which is good because sometimes I just die and it's like, oh, I now have to go back to my last save.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I've been saving and reloading after almost every fight.
Yeah, so. I do that in games sometimes. Just never save. And yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, because it can be hours worth of progress that you lose.
Yeah.
Because there is an autosave, but it only happens after major events and stuff. Mm-hmm. So sometimes I'll go through a really tough fight and get through it, and then die later, and then have to go through that tough fight again because I didn't save after.
Yeah.
But another thing that I found out, because occasionally I'd be Googling, how do you get through this fight?
Yeah.
And apparently the most broken ability there is force speed.
Okay.
Because it makes you attack more times. And apparently that makes quite a difference, and it sure did. As soon as I started using that, I haven't had a fight I couldn't win.
You're just destroying everybody. Nice.
It's Dark Jedi Master, big deal.
Yeah.
Speed.
It's like when you max out multi-arrow in Fable.
Yeah.
You're just I don't have to do anything ever again.
And now I have a party member who also has force speed. I have 3. I am now a group of 3 Jedi.
Nice.
So
I am 3 Jedi.
Yeah. When you start out, you are not a Jedi, but then later they realize that you are not only force sensitive, but you are extremely force sensitive, and it takes you 1% of the time to do all of the normal Padawan training because guess what? You were the Dark Lord of the Sith not too long ago.
You were the leader of this.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And at one point, you like break the news to your team, to your whole team, and you're just like, "Hey, by the way, I am apparently Darth Revan," and they're like, "It's like, will you still follow me?" And they all say yes. So,
all right, cool, thanks.
but yeah, so now I'm actually at the Sith Academy, trying to break in, basically.
Nice.
Now, will I break in or will I become a Sith again?
Oh no!
And turn on everybody and become the Dark Lord of the Sith.
Don't do the darkness.
Of darkness.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So that's
big
Knights
yawn.
of the Old Republic. Very glitchy game, but fun.
Fun. How does it compare to Fallen Order? You played?
Extremely different.
Oh, really?
Almost nothing alike.
Really? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Interesting.
They both happen to be Star Wars games. That's about where the comparison ends.
I mean, aren't they both like third-person action?
The
like,
controls
fighting?
are extremely different, though, because it's Fallen Order is like a straight-up third-person action game, like Dark Souls or whatever, and this is more of like a RPG.
Okay.
In terms of controls, the closest game I can think of is World of Warcraft.
Oh, okay.
Because you target the enemy, you select the action you want to take, such as attack, and then your character starts doing that action.
Just continually?
It does an auto attack.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha. It's one of those.
And then it essentially rolls a d20.
Yeah.
And every time it's
like
high enough
rolls
roll,
for AC,
your attack hits. And it also does a D whatever for your damage. And that varies depending on the weapon you're holding, what sort of die you're rolling, and you can even have a minimum roll. Like you will always roll at least 3 with this weapon for damage.
Nice. So yeah, it really is like a RPG like that.
Yeah.
Nice. Interesting.
And it takes place in like the old Republic, so way before the events of the original,
way before
of
Star
even
Wars.
the prequel trilogy.
Yeah.
Where the Sith isn't just a word to refer to a dark Jedi, it's a word to refer to an entire like organization.
Yeah.
They are the Sith, and
they're much more
ordinary humans that have no Force abilities whatsoever that refer to themselves as Sith. Because they're just part of the Sith Empire, basically. Yeah.
The community of the Sith.
Yeah. This takes place right after the Mandalorian War.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Interesting. On Mandalore?
On Mandalore.
Have you watched Andor or any of the new Star Wars stuff? Speaking of.
I intend to very soon.
Yeah. Yeah. I have not either.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
I haven't
like
watched
Andor and Tales of the Jedi.
I haven't watched anything in a while. So.
I think you should just buckle down and watch the Clone Wars.
So
it is long. It is a bit of a slow burn, but it is really good, I think. I think it's one of the best Star Wars shows that is out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, someday, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With Star Wars Rebels, you can take it or leave it. It wasn't bad.
I probably won't watch that also.
But Clone Wars, I recommend.
Yeah, I get it. If I'm in a Star Wars mood, I'll get to it probably. Yeah. Yeah, I have to be in the mood for Star Wars stuff, I think.
So,
it's a vibe.
I recently went and saw Trash Taste live.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that a little bit.
So,
that's a podcast.
I am
a little known podcast.
Yeah, I'm a viewer of Trash Taste, and the only one I personally know. None of my friends or family members listen to Trash Taste. So
never heard an episode.
But I watch it pretty consistently, and when they announced they were going on tour, I bought tickets as soon as they came out and bought VIP tickets.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
So.
Oh, very nice.
So the day of, I was like, I'm driving into Portland. I hate driving into Portland.
Yeah,
it sucks.
We never go downtown.
Google Maps is terrible about it because it always waits until the very last second to tell me what turn I need to make. And so I never know what lane I need to be in. And I pretty much every single time I drive into Portland, I miss a turn because of maps not telling me quickly enough. So because of that, and because I wanted to make sure I was on time for the event and didn't have any issues with my ticket or anything, I was just like, I'm just going to get there way, way earlier than I need to.
Super early, yeah. Yeah, I totally get that.
The event for the VIPs didn't start until 6-ish, and the main event didn't start until 8. I got there like a little after 3.
Nice.
So I get there. I get to the venue. I'm like, okay, I need to find a way to kill 2 hours.
Yeah.
So I walk outside the venue, and I'm just walking around, just seeing what's around.
Yeah.
I see their tour bus.
Yeah.
It's obviously their tour bus because it's right next to the venue, and it's this big fat bus. But I assume they're already they're either all in there chilling, and they're going to be like escorted out with security or whatever,
right.
or they're already in the venue, like upstairs,
getting stuff ready,
ready.
Yeah.
One of the two.
For sure.
But so I'm walking around outside. I'm walking down the sidewalk, and right in front of me, walking towards me, is Joey.
Right.
The just straight up Joey. And so
for those who don't know, that's one of the hosts.
Yes, one of the hosts of Trash Taste, Joey the Anime Man.
Pretty well known YouTuber.
Yeah, he's got like 3 million subscribers, so he's well known.
Yeah,
in the anime YouTuber space at least. Yeah. And so I haven't met a lot of quote famous unquote people.
Right.
Me
either. Only a couple. So
I've met some voice actors at anime conventions.
Yeah.
At their
always
signings and panels. And so like I wasn't really sure how I was going to react. Was I going to be super nervous or whatever?
About it?
And it was weirder than that because it was as if I was seeing an old friend.
Yep. The parasocial relationship.
Yeah, I didn't really understand
so
this until now. It's like the parasocial relationship thing is so weird because
very strong, very weird.
I felt like, oh, that's just my old friend Joey.
My friend Joey. Yeah.
And so on the one hand, it made it super easy to say something to him. Like I wasn't nervous. But on the other hand, that's weird because he had no idea who I was.
He doesn't know who you are. Yeah.
But so I'm just walking down toward him, and I'm just like, "Hey, Joey." He's like,
Joey.
"Sup?"
Sup?
He hands me $1.
He hands you $1.
And then walks away.
Want $1?
Want $1? I still have that $1. It's in my wallet now.
Amazing.
Because I never use cash, so I don't.
Just frame it and call it Joey's $1. Oh, I can put that on in the podcast set when we have a
$1 I got from Joey.
Joey's $1.
It's funny. It didn't occur to me until later. It's
Me
like, all
first
right, he's flying back to Japan tomorrow. He has no need for American currency.
Yeah, I wonder where he got that $1. If he has American cash.
Well, I mean, he had been in America for the last month, so he was probably using cash here and there. But yeah,
that's funny. Do all of them live in Japan?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they record in Japan then, I'm guessing.
They all live really close to each other, too, to make it easier to record because they record every week. Yeah. Unlike us.
Yeah, they're a weekly podcast.
Yeah. Which is why they have more than double the number of episodes we have.
Yeah, that is so tough. Like, I could not imagine.
Yeah, but I mean, their podcast actually makes money.
Well, right. That's their job. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are full-time content creators, and we are not.
Right. We lose money on this.
Yes, we do.
But you know what?
And by that, you mean
it's for fun. You lose money on the pod. I just lose time, and that's fine. I'm giving you my time. You're welcome.
Yeah.
My dear, dear audience. Although we should make merch. That'd be fun.
Oh, yeah, I want to. I was on
costs money also,
I was on the front row, and I was in there for the Q&A session. I was too nervous to ask any of the questions I wanted to ask, so I just asked
a very normal, boring
a very
question.
generic question. And of course, it had been a question they had been asked at pretty much every single other panel, which was like, "Aw, I wanted to be more unique than that,"
Yeah.
but whatever.
Did they say that to you?
Yeah, they were like, "Yeah, we've been asked this at every event."
Well, so I mean, you were the one then.
Yep. And it was my question was, has being in America this long changed your opinion of America? And they were like, "Nope."
Nope.
America is exactly what we thought it was going to be.
Nice.
They were like, they did say they think Americans are really nice.
Yeah. For sure. In
Yeah.
general, I agree.
And and so they had some events. So at the main show, they basically did 3 segments, each one hosted by a different member of the podcast. They did the parasocial relationship game, where it was, does the audience know Connor better than Joey and Garnt?
Yeah.
And then Garnt did a Family Feud style thing with audience input.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then,
You told me about that a little bit.
And then Joey did the Trash Taste opinion / take court,
Nice.
where one of them would have to defend the opinion of another.
Right.
Of
A
them,
hot take.
even if it was the polar opposite of their actual opinion.
Yeah.
And then the other got to
Fantastic.
fight for the opposite side.
Yeah.
So that was pretty funny. And of course, Joey had to be in an Among Us costume the whole time.
Right. That was
As
a punishment of some sort.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he's the imposter.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was a pretty fun
That's
event.
the Among Us sound.
And yeah, that's about all I have to say about it.
That's all I have to say about that.
Yep. So, Pokemon, you've been playing. What's up with that?
Okay.
What's going on?
I guess let's move on to Pokemon. I recently picked up a playthrough that I had started. I do this a lot. I will set down a Pokemon game and then not touch it for months. But I finally went back to Pokemon Ultra Moon, which was a really cool playthrough I was doing, actually, where I was mostly focusing on ghost and dark types,
Right.
and a lot of birds happen to have also winged creatures of some sort. Some of my favorite Pokemon, so that was cool. I had, Decidueye, I had Honchkrow, I had a Chandelure, I used a Mimikyu, which I'd never actually used, really used.
Yeah.
I had a Salamence, shocking, one of my favorite Pokemon. I had every time I can never remember the last Pokemon
Yeah.
in a team of 6. What is that
Did
about?
you have a Frostlass in this one, or?
No, I've used Frostlass. Was it Sword and Shield? I think I used a Frostlass, who was pretty fantastic. Actually, I do like Frostlass. Oh, right, that's right. I used a Palisand,
Oh, okay.
the Sandcastle dude.
Yeah.
because he's Ghost, and that was my team of 6. I was able to look up pictures of my
Oh.
of my becoming champion because I did finish it. That was my final team.
Yeah.
Before Palo-Sand, I had a Knocked Owl, who I do really like, and he's a decent psychic type, but his stats just didn't stack up with the rest of the team.
He's like
unfortunately.
Zatu, but not as good.
Yeah,
Because Zatu is actually psychic.
right. And I don't really like Zatu very much. Just, I don't know, design and feel wise, I guess. And also, psychic flying isn't actually a great type combo, I feel like. I feel like it has a lot of weaknesses, but I don't know.
Well, flying in general has a lot of weaknesses.
yeah.
But yeah.
So I switched him out with Palo-Sand. So it was cool because I'd never used... It's funny, I went into this playthrough because what I wanted to do was way, way late in the game in Seafolk Village on the last island. You can catch Delmise, who I really like. Do you even know what I'm talking? Who Delmise is?
I don't remember.
He's the anchor
Oh,
Pokemon.
okay, yeah.
He's like an anchor and a steering wheel, and like a ship's wheel.
Yeah.
And he's Grass Ghost.
Okay.
But he has an ability, I think it's like Ship Worker or Steel Worker or something, where Steel type moves have a 50% attack bonus. So basically, you get Stab on steel type moves. So he's sort of 3 types. He has stab with 3 different types, which is really cool. That's, kind of unheard of. And decent special attack. Super slow, but, that's usually the trade-off. And I really like his design and stuff. So I was good at planning on using him, but this team was pretty much complete by the time I got to Sea Folk. And it was such a good team that steel wouldn't really add anything to. So I just kind of was like, it's kind of pointless at this point to use him. So maybe someday I'll use a Dumbass. But I was pretty set with this team. Because for fairy types, Palossand can learn Sludge Bomb, which is a great poison move. So that took care of fairy types for me. So I didn't really need steel for anything. I had really good spread on all this. Mimikyu can learn Play Rough, obviously. Great physical, because Mimikyu's a physical attacker. Fantastic fairy move. It's Fairy Ghost, by the way, if you didn't remember.
Oh, right. Okay.
And then it learns, obviously, Shadow Claw is great. But then it can also learn Leech Life.
Oh, that's interesting.
Which, was it always 75 power?
No, I don't think so.
They they buffed Leech Life.
I'm pretty sure Leech Life in Gen 1 was only like 20.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Leech Life's good now. It's like 75 power.
That's okay. So that's why it makes sense. There's this. I saw this little meme years ago, and it was the Squidward sleeping and then his eyes popping open.
Yeah.
Template,
of course.
And it was it had a bunch of things Pokemon related, and then Leech Life is stronger than Giga Drain. Eyes pop open.
Nani? I think it is 75, and obviously 100% accuracy, physical move.
Giga Drain's only like 65 or something.
Yeah. And obviously you get healed from it, so it's awesome.
I don't know why. As a kid, I thought Mega Drain was like one of the best moves. It's only like 40 power.
Yeah, it's like because Gen 1 is like a weird benchmark to think of things. It's so the meta's so different now. It's ridiculous. And Mimikyu, great physical attack, great speed, and its ability is so broken.
Yeah,
its disguise ability, basically the first hit of battle, you just don't take damage, period. Basically, no matter what. Even if they use a Z move, if they use priority move, whatever.
Okay.
Super effective, doesn't matter. It breaks your disguise instead of hurting you. And then you just go as normal. And it's just so broken to be able to do that. Because she's also pretty fast.
Yeah.
So you hit, and then you don't get hit, and then you get to hit again, and they always die. Like, guaranteed, basically. So Mimikyu was awesome. One of the MVPs of the team, 100%.
Yeah.
In general, playing through, there was a lot of little things in Ultra Moon that were not in Sun and Moon. Tons of like little fun moments. I don't know if I mentioned, maybe just to you, but like one time I was in a Pokemon Center, healed my Pokemon.
Oh, yeah.
I went over to the cafe. I don't know if I said it on the podcast. You were saying this
on the podcast. Okay. Yeah, I remember.
But yeah, the Nurse Joy coming over and taking a break and talking with you. Like, there's a bunch of little stuff like that in this game that makes it feel really polished and full, sort of. Yeah. Which I just thought was really cool.
Yeah, with KOTOR on a day-to-day basis, sometimes I feel like doing more story stuff, and so I'll be on the lookout for ways to do that. One thing I forgot to mention.
Sure.
Occasionally, you'll just be walking along, and then it'll say something like, something appears to be bothering this party member. Maybe you should talk to them about it. But you know what's funny? Is almost every time you do that, they get the opinion of, I really don't want to talk about this. Let's please stop talking about this. And you have to like prod them in order to get them to say more.
Wow.
But it's like, it's bothering them.
Yeah.
So they should talk it out, but also they really don't want to. And it's
so
like,
serious.
Okay, can we just stop? I was like, okay, sheesh.
I'll talk about it. Shut up, Mom. Yeah.
Well, they've all been through terrible things.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
As most characters in this kind of story have been.
For real. So yeah, I think I heard someone say too that Ultra Sun and Moon have some of the most side quests of any Pokemon game, and it is just like little things like that. Um, I want to talk about the Pokepelago a little bit,
Okay.
which I'm sure you remember maybe from playing it. It's like this little side thing you can go into in your menu, where there's like the main island has like this tree with Pokebeans that fall from it that you can pick up. There's different islands you can develop.
It has been almost 6 years since I've played that game.
Yeah, and the Ultra Moon one I think is a little different than the regular, but basically there's these different islands that can be really useful. Two in particular. There's one that's like a mining thing, like this cave, and you can develop it and send Pokemon that are just in your box on like a mission to go mining for stones and stuff. And it sets like a real clock for 24 real hours. And then after that, you can come back and see what they mined up, basically. And doing that, I was able to get the 2 Dusk Stones I needed to evolve Honchkrow and Chandelure.
Nice.
Way earlier than you would get them in the main game. So it's really nice. Great resource for like evolution stones and stuff. And then there's one that levels up, basically. There's an island where you can level with experience, just level up, and do EV training. There's like you can have them train with attack or special attack or whatever. And you just select Pokemon. Obviously, they can't be used in like battle and stuff if they're being trained, but it's completely passive, and it just takes real time hours. But what if it was such a fantastic, easy way to get things done a little bit? Like I was able to EV train all of my main team effortlessly.
Yeah.
I just stuck them in there, and
It's like the daycare, but good.
yeah, it's like the daycare, but good because it's completely passive. You don't have to walk around and stuff. Because especially like overnight, I'm not playing the game anyway, so
Yeah.
I'll put it on for 12 hours. So I was able to get them all to the same level, and then obviously focus on their attack or special attack or whatever. And I just found it very convenient, easy to use, and probably my favorite EV training in any Pokemon game for sure. Like compared to the super training in X and Y, I found it way more pleasant.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really like that aspect of it too. So one other thing story wise I really want to talk about is in the first game, basically Lusamine was the villain, right?
Yeah.
She was a terrible mother and wanted to open the Ultra Wormhole to I don't know, destroy everything. I don't remember even what her motive was in the base game. In this game, her motive makes more sense. She's actually just trying to get to her husband who disappeared into the Ultra Wormhole. I don't remember if that was in the original or not, but anyway. And in general, the dialogue was just better. I felt like this story was way more thought out. And the whole time, the real villain seems to be Necrozma, who was barely mentioned, in the first one, who basically is stealing the light from every universe, from the whole multiverse, because it just eats light unendingly. And so there's these people from the Ultra universe or whatever who came and were like, yo, our planet has no light and Necrozma's coming for Alola right now.
Yeah.
And like, you got to watch it basically. And then shockingly he does, and opens wormholes and it's all terrible. And so you got to ride Solgaleo through the Ultra universe wormholes, and go fight Ultra Necrozma, who's this giant golden, like glowing godlike being who's a psychic dragon, I believe. And it's just straight up a boss fight. Like, this is the legendary, you have to beat it. And so I went in with my team of 6, this exact team. they were all like 57, 58 leveled. And Necrozma's 60.
Yeah.
And that's like way higher. Like I was over leveled for where I was in the game, but Necrozma was still 60. And I go to fight him, and I'm like, no problem. I got a fairy type. I have 3 ghost types. He's psychic. I have a dark type. Like 5 out of my 6 Pokemon had super effective moves towards him. But I couldn't use any of those moves because he's very fast and one-shot every single one of my Pokemon.
Wow.
Every single one.
Wow.
Effortlessly.
Wow.
With Mimikyu's Disguise, I got 1 hit off, which took out a third of his health, and then I was one-shot.
Wow.
Absolutely absurd. I've never felt weak in a Pokemon game before. I'm like, this is terrifying. They actually put a hard boss in this game. And poking around online, people agree that he's hard.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be hard, and that it's very impressive that they actually made something hard in a Pokemon game. And so I took the easy way out, and I just put them in the level up camp until they were like 63.
Yeah.
And then I was able to defeat him.
Oh, okay. So once you're into the 60s, he becomes a lot more doable. Okay.
Yeah, but not easy. Definitely not easy. His moves are still insanely strong. I got everyone to max affection, which makes them stupid broken, where they just crit randomly or survive things randomly, or just straight up dodge moves randomly. Like the affection thing is so broken. And I learned that through the Pokepelago, you can get rainbow Pokebeans. And if you give your Pokemon a rainbow Pokebean, they either go up a full affection rating in one bean or to max in one bean. I didn't do enough testing to test that, but it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Super efficient, super nice. And I don't know if that's in the base game or not. So I'm actually gonna test that. Anyway, it was really cool to have a difficult boss. He was more difficult than the Elite Four, I would say. But I was more prepared for the Elite Four, I think. And they're less about sheer strength than testing your ability or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And it is cool in Sun and Moon, I think, where you're the first champion, basically. Like, you defeat the Elite Four, and then it's just between you and Hao. And it's like, you two are going to be the champions, one of you. So fight each other to be, the first champion. And then what's really cool about Ultra Sun and Moon is post-game, you can defend your championship. You like sit on the throne and people just come to you and fight you.
I want to do that.
I'm like, that's what it should have been from the beginning of Pokemon. You should have been able to do that.
Yeah.
And one of the people who challenges you is youngster Joey. Comes and challenges you.
I'm like, he's come so far.
I'm like, this is so brilliant. Like, that's perfect. So right now in the post game, I'm fighting Team Rainbow Rocket. Team Rocket has come, literally Giovanni and everybody. Has formed Rainbow Rocket, and they're here to harness the power of the Ultra wormholes and stuff.
I want to play that ROM hack where you are a Team Rocket member.
Yeah, for sure. You can just steal people's Pokemon and stuff.
Yeah,
definitely. So yeah, as coming to a close on discussing Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, I'm going to say that Ultra Moon is the best Pokemon game.
Wow, that is a bold statement.
Period. It's the kind of take that would get a lot of angry people on the internet. Every criticism I've heard of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, I just disagree with. I just think they're wrong. So it's natural. I've always liked Sun and Moon, and it was already near the top.
Yeah.
And this made every little improvement I could ask for. And so straight up best Pokemon game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So now I can fully say that Gen 7 is my favorite gen, Ultra Moon, favorite game. Period.
Wow.
Ultra Sun might be up there too because it has Alolan Vulpix, and Moon has Sandshrew. So I actually might like Sun even better. But yeah, whatever.
Sun and Moon were the first games I played since Ruby and Sapphire.
Yeah.
And they were like, wow, these are really good. And then it wasn't until after that I went back and played X and Y and Diamond
Which are very
Pearl
good. I like
and
X
Black
and
and
Y
White. And yeah, I really enjoy Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
So
Playing, I very recently beat Emerald. I recently played like Heart Gold and stuff. And I do like a lot of aspects of older generations, but I genuinely just prefer modern Pokemon, I think, which is surprising, I think. But even though I grew up with Gen 1 and 2 and stuff.
At some point, I'm going to go on a third game spree. Play Crystal, Emerald, Platinum.
Platinum's up there on my list to really try and really enjoy and just see if I can get enjoyment out of Gen 4 that isn't Legends Arceus.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I like Gen 4 is Legends Arceus, and that's about it. So, yeah. Yeah, because apparently Platinum adds a lot of things that aren't even in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, which is very strange to me.
Yeah.
But,
it almost would have made more sense
sure.
instead of making Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, and then Brilliant Pearl, Shining Diamond, or whatever.
Just remake the one
just
third
remake
game.
Emerald and Platinum.
Yeah, why two versions again? That is kind of weird. I think that's just their formula. That's what they do, right? But yeah. And I guess now the formula is 2 games and then DLC.
Yeah.
Which kind of worked for Sword and Shield. I really liked the DLC. I think Crown Tundra was quite good. But yeah. Interesting. I really want to play White 2 now.
Yeah.
Because I've just heard that that's the best Pokemon game.
Everybody adores those games. So
and it does have some of the modern features I really like. I prefer 3D models over the sprites in general. But
I don't really like the original DS era in terms of look and feel very much.
Yeah, the walking around feel is not great.
Yeah.
I really like the sprites in Gen 4, especially. Like, I think I said that Heart Gold has some of my favorite sprites in any generation. But, yeah. The colors are really vibrant, too.
Yeah.
In Heart Gold, Soul Silver, which I really like. But, yeah.
One thing I liked about X and Y and later is I don't feel like the move animations and the animations in the game don't feel like they take forever like they do with all the older games. Yeah, it feels much quicker. Like,
I totally agree with that.
That's why when I play Red and Blue, I'm mashing that spacebar all the time because the animations just feel so slow. I think part of that is, like, even as a kid, I used the Doduo and Dodrio Game Boys. So for me,
you've always been a speed
playing
freak.
The game at least 2 times speed is what feels like the normal speed.
Yeah.
So playing the game at
minimum.
just normal feels so sluggish.
Just terrible, yeah. Yeah, for real. So yeah, that's my hot take. Ultra Moon is the best. I might get Ultra Sun just to play it.
Yeah.
And see if it's even better.
Since I've played Moon, I want to get Ultra Sun.
Yeah. I have Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
I will say that shows how much I like Alola in general. I have Sun and Moon, and I think that's the only generation. No, I guess I have Gold and Silver, but that's just for fun, I guess. Yeah. It's rare I get both versions, though. So
that was my pattern, was getting every version up until I dropped off.
Yeah.
Stopped playing for a while.
Just getting both, Now I just don't care. Like, I have no reason to get Scarlet and Violet. Yeah. Especially because you'll have the other one and we can trade and stuff. But
yeah. The way Game Freak intended.
The way Masuda intended, yeah. Speaking of Scarlet Violet, that's coming out in like a week.
Yeah.
As of recording this. So that's cool.
Yep.
We are definitely excited-ish, right?
Yeah. You sent me a thing?
Yeah. So there's a lot of leaks coming out. Yeah. Why don't you pull that up on your phone? We're not going to go into details on the leaks just in case you viewing this don't want to be leaked. But I've sent Brian the evolutions of the starters.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. So, first evolution you can see for Sprigatito. Very interesting little thing there. I'm not 100% on the typings here.
Oh, okay. You don't know? You mean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I won't say in general. But I like Fuecoco's quite a bit. I'm really glad I chose
second stage
him.
is interesting.
Yeah, it's just that.
Oh wow!
Very funny.
The water types is so pixelated, I can't really tell what it looks like.
You can't really
hardly.
tell, unfortunately, on this one. But really good pictures of the other ones. So there seems to be some sort of photo mode for the Pokedex, which is what you're seeing there.
Yeah.
With the text and stuff.
This just reconfirms that I want Sprigatito.
Yeah.
As my starter.
I think it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of an interesting. I really like Fuecoco's. I'm glad he gets like that. He looks like that. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, his final evolution is probably the best final of the
big
of
boy.
The
He's a big boy. I'll just say that. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. You mentioning that about spoilers. I wanted to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, let's talk about leaks.
The idea of being spoiled for things. Sometimes. So I like surprises. I like not being spoiled, and so I can be like, whoa, I didn't know that it was going to end this way.
Yeah.
Wow. Whoa. Sometimes spoilers actually make me more interested.
Yeah.
Because then I'm anticipating that event happening in the game or movie or whatever.
Definitely. Yeah, I see both sides there for sure.
Because, like, my friend Ben occasionally will just, like, explain the entire plot of a thing unprompted.
Because he's just too excited about it.
Yeah, we'll just talk about it a little, and then he'll just be like, okay, so here's the entire story,
here's the
beginning
summary
to
of
end.
the whole thing.
And it's like, okay, that was a lot of spoilers, actually, because I haven't watched this, obviously. But sometimes he's done that, and it made me go, oh, okay, so, and make me look forward to things
now I
happening
actually want to do that, yeah.
So there's that, but also I understand that, like, if there's a plot twist or something, being able to let that actually surprise you by not knowing about it beforehand.
Yeah, sometimes hearing about everything could just be really make it a blah experience that just isn't exciting to watch because of that.
I wonder what it would have been like if I had played Pokemon with knowing nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not having the player's guide, not having watched the anime, not having had friends talk about how the game works, just me going in completely blind. I don't know what that's like because before I ever got to play the game, I had played the game on friends' Game Boys. I had watched the anime. And I owned the player's guide. So I was very well prepared.
Yeah.
I knew what was going to happen. I knew
you
what to
knew a lot
expect.
about Pokemon already without playing it. Yeah.
So I didn't get lost. I knew to evolve Pokemon. I knew I knew good strategies to use, like all of that right from the beginning.
So that would be a very different experience, I think. Yeah, like I've seen a lot of the other new Pokemon from this game, and part of me is like, oh, I'm like excited to get that Pokemon now. That looks really cool. I might want to use that on my team. It kind of gets you more excited to see some new Pokemon, but also, would it be more fun if I just found that Pokemon randomly and was just like, whoa, look at this new cool Pokemon? Like, yeah, I don't know what would be better, actually.
I think for me, I would rather know about them because I'll probably miss them otherwise.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
There's going to be a bunch of Pokemon that I will
them.
miss if I don't know that they exist.
Yeah, like if I go into a new route on a Pokemon game I'm not very familiar with, I like to pull up the Cerebi page.
Yeah.
So I can see, it's like, oh, there's a 5% chance of this Pokemon here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to see that probably if I don't know that, you know? Like, unless I relentlessly go through every single route's grass and just like see if there's a rare Pokemon there.
Like in Sword and Shield, I did occasionally come across a Pokemon I didn't recognize because I didn't go and like look at every single one before I played the game. But yeah.
And it's nice about big open areas. You're not quite sure exactly what's going to pop up. And you just go, oh, look, that's here. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of that in this game. because it is very open. So a Pokemon will just appear. You'll be like, hey, look at that.
No.
Yeah. I did like that with some of the rare spawns, I guess, in like Legends Arceus. Like going around just the first big mountainous area where you're like, I just found a Munchlax randomly walking around, which is a fairly rare spawn on like this area. And like, that was cool. I was like, oh, I was like really surprised to see that. And yeah. So I guess that is kind of nice to be kind of surprised. Yeah, I think I won't try to look up too much like exactly where Pokemon are in Scarlet Violet and just sort of try to explore as much as possible. But because I think exploration is a big part of it. So that's why the legendary is so about maneuvering, basically.
No.
It's all about flying around. Yeah, I'm hoping that isn't choppy and like not fluid, because from what gameplay I've seen, it looks choppy and not fluid. So we'll see about that, I guess. Yeah. So probably next time we record, will we have played Scarlet Violet, I wonder?
Probably.
If so, we will definitely be mostly talking about that, probably. So get ready for that, I guess.
Yeah.
So we hope you like Pokemon, because we sure talk about it a lot.
Yep. And that isn't changing anytime
And that's probably
soon.
not going to change. So, yeah.
Because guess what I'm doing as soon as I finish KOTOR? More Pokemon.
More Pokemon. What are you planning on playing?
Well, Scarlet, but
yeah,
in addition,
Sorry.
I want to finish that playthrough where I started with 6 Pokemon right from the beginning, and also considering doing that third game thing where I start with Crystal and then I play Emerald and Platinum.
Sweet. I'm playing Sun right now, so I started a new file on Pokemon Sun, so that's what I'm doing. I'm focusing on getting cute Pokemon. So that's fun. I picked Sun so I can get Alolan Vulpix, obviously, but and Mischievous very early on, which is nice. So yeah, that's it.
All right.
I guess that's the podcast. I guess we could just end. We're getting tired.
Yeah.
It's too early to record this.
Yeah. We need more caffeine and food.
And you got work. You got things to do.
Yep. Yeah, I'm going to get TSA pre-check.
Yeah.
Because
Sick.
I'm hoping next month.
Next month.
This
hoping?
is just a hope and a dream at this point.
tentative.
There's no
Don't get too
firm
excited.
anything, but to go to Japan.
Whoa!
I've been wanting to for
What a weeb.
many years now, and it looks like the opportunity might be there now. So
Pretty cool.
it's the hope and the dream.
Hopefully, you could tell us all about it on the Brothers Game podcast. What?
Yep. Are you done?
Go follow us on Twitter at the Brothers G Pod.
You can also
Link in the
check
description.
out the subreddit r/Brothers Game Podcast.
That's us.
Yes.
If
Please
you have
download this episode this episode. Yes.
And
Please
every single
download
other one.
This one and every other one on as many devices as you can, even if you don't own them. That's fine.
Just find people's devices. Go tell a friend about the show where we talk about Pokemon and other games sometimes.
Yes.
If you have any ideas of things you want us to discuss, any debates you want us to fix, we can start our own court here. We could just
Yeah, if
we
you
could
want us
tell
to
you if your
defend
takes are
any of our
terrible.
takes.
if you have a take that's terrible, we can happily destroy that if you want to.
Yeah.
If you think Gen 4 is the best gen, I will
You're wrong, but-
happily give you a 10-page essay on why it's not.
Yes.
So there you go.
Cool.
Go hang out. Talk to us.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Okay, bye. That's it. Bye.